Hi everyone, welcome back to another edition of the Velvet Lounge. So, I wanted to give you an update in regards to how it went today with us trying to help out resellers by giving them access to stuff that we normally recycle or just throw away. Why do we do that? Because I am the only person now who is doing any of the reselling part of the business, and I'm only one person, and with the amount of items that we come into contact with, it is just impossible for me to even put a little nick in the pile. It just is impossible. So what we wanted to do, since we noticed a lot of people are going to thrift shops, they're trying to find things to resell, but the prices are just outrageous. They become, I'm going to use the word greedy. Like they become greedy, and part of the reason is because, resellers allowed them to. They pay the price, so the stores such as Goodwill, Salvation Army, and others have just, inflated their prices, and they're inflating them on items they get for absolutely free. That's like the maddening part of it. So don't worry, they're still going to make plenty of cash, because what they do is they take the very best items out and they sell them on their own websites. Like, you've seen it. If you see what people are paying for some of that stuff, it's pretty amazing. So what we decided to do is, versus tossing the stuff into construction dumpsters, which is what we normally do, or and we do donate to Big Brothers Big Sisters 3 or 4 times a year. We do a gigantic donation to them, and they love it. They give us multiple donation slips, which is great, and we will still do that. But still, we are putting way too much tonnage into these landfills. So they're totally good items that are easily resellable. And what we decided to do is, like I said, open this up to people who are, can find access to our area. So that's the other thing. If you're in California, this isn't going to work for you. But if you have access to the eastern part of the United States and can make that little teeny tiny car ride or truck ride, then notice I tried to sneak truck in there because, hey, bring a truck, clear us out. We'd love that. But if you can do that, awesome. And you can buy in bulk, and you can pay so much less, a fraction of what you would pay a thrift shop for the same merchandise. And as a matter of fact, you probably won't even have access to merchandise like this at those shops. So the way it went today is like this. I met a buyer. My husband met 2 buyers. And the transactions, thankfully, were pretty quick, which was really good. I mean, obviously, we're trying to get familiar with each other. So, you have some talking and banter there, which is great, because we want to know, can we work with this person in the future? Obviously, they should be thinking the same thing about us. Also, we are thinking, is this someone that we're going to call? Because remember, when we call you, you're having first access to the best items, which is great. That's what everyone wants to be, is a VIP. I actually rhymed, and I didn't even do that on purpose. So if you could do me a favor, just take a moment and press that thumbs up button for me. Thumbs up. That would be great. And also subscribe to our channel, of course. But back on task. So what did these folks buy? So the person I dealt with, they purchased some equipment, some tools, some clothing items, and some other like miscellaneous things. My husband, the folks, he dealt with 2 clients or customers, and what they purchased were some equipment. There were, I don't know if there were any tools. There were some electronics, lots of framed artwork. There were some clothing items and whatever other miscellaneous items. So, I mean, there were just a variety of items. We were happy. You could actually see the difference in these units that we were, selling the stuff out of. And, one of the questions that we had was, and I had some of these questions after I put the post out in the call to people who might be interested, who are like, this is for serious resellers. So the serious people replied. They wanted to know things such as, do we buy storage units or, go to storage unit auctions? No. We used to do that a long time ago when one of the storage unit shows used to film in Massachusetts. So we were part of a couple of those filmings. I will tell you about that in the future. Yes, you're paid something to do that. Or we were anyway. And no, that is not what this is at all. Someone wanted to know if we personally did cleanouts. We personally do not do cleanouts. We do know people who do them and they do the labor, but we personally don't do that. I'm trying to think. Someone said something like, and this is kind of odd because it's not even tag sale season yet, but whatever. They wanted to know if we had, like, I don't know what he was really asking, but something to do with tag sales or flea markets. We do not get our items from tag sales or flea markets. I'm not sure what his question was, but no, we don't do that. And some guy wanted to know if we had a truck and did we like go around and I guess collect stuff from people that didn't want this stuff. And I've never heard of that, but no, I mean, that's something like the Salvation Army would do, or Heartstrings. I think it's called Heart Springs, or Goodwill, but no, of course not. We don't do that. We're not any type of nonprofit. We pay taxes. First of all, we definitely just finished paying our taxes. And we report our income. So, and that's what we do. But anyway, so it's good though. Good questions. Nothing wrong with asking them. But like I said, the items that we come into contact with usually don't go anywhere except to recycling centers and to landfills. So, the other thing that, we were asked by many people, like, what kind of things do we get? What type of, do we get this particular thing or that particular thing or particular brands? Our items, someone thought that all of our items were going to be brand new, which is very odd to me that someone would think that. Especially when we're talking about Goodwill and thrift shops and, reselling and stuff like that. But people do sometimes come into contact with brand new items. I would say 80%, 85% maybe of what we come into contact with are used items. However, the items that we recover for this particular experiment that we're trying are going to be items that are the better items. They're not going to be on purpose anything that's cracked or super incredibly dirty, or I talked about in the previous video, it won't be something that's crazy rusty, nothing like that. And I will put a link up there to the video that I put out for the call to order, so that if people are interested in contacting us and being able to be the first in, we definitely had 2 people who were like, call me first. I will even help you with projects or whatever. If you call me first, you can even pay me if I do work for you, which we're not looking for any employees at all, just to tell you. But that's how happy they were with their opportunity that they had today. They were like, you could pay me in stuff versus in cash. And I was like, well, that's not what we're trying to do here, and, whatever. But we were definitely humbled and thankful for those offers, very much so. I want to actually give a shout out to a guy named Mike, really nice fellow, never judge a book by its cover, hardworking dude. And we've met him even previous to this. I don't know if he recognizes us. He should, because there's like not that many of us with this melanin. But you know, maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's colorblind. That's even better. Love him. But anyway, it was really nice dealing with him today. Spoke to him on the phone afterwards even. So nice. So we definitely have him on our list, and we'll definitely be calling him again. The other people we dealt with are also on the list. And, you know, some of the things that these people purchased, like I told you, you know, it's just such a variety. There's no way for me. The only thing I could tell someone sometimes is what we have in store for them. So if I know, for example, that we have a lot of, let's just say, ephemera, then I can tell them that. I'm not going to take the time to tell them what each and every little tiny piece is, because if we have it, we probably have a lot of it, and it's just going to be a variety of things. I know someone was asking me about vintage costume jewelry, and you know, whether it be vintage or it has a new tag on it, or it would, you know, it's like 30 years old. Is that vintage? You know, it's up to the person to determine, you know, if this is something they want or are interested in. Is it their niche? Because maybe it's not. That's totally fine. But if we find that, you know, repeatedly we don't have what you're looking for, then obviously we know that it's fine. We tried. It's not going to work. You tried. It's not going to work. That's okay. So, I mean, like I said, we were very happy with the way it went today. Quick, easy. People went in. They saw what they wanted. They grabbed it, you know, made a little pile, had it in their arms, put it in their truck, whatever it was. And we came up with a price, and, you know, we definitely underpriced every single thing simply because we know these are resellers that we're dealing with. And I know what your margins should be so that you can make a decent profit. Now, what you sell the stuff for when you get home or your shop or whatever, obviously, I'm not telling you what to do with that. I'm just saying that, you know, if I know that this pen could sell for $5, then I'm probably going to sell it to you for 75 cents, just for example. Maybe even less than that. So, like I said, went very well. Would we do it again? That's one of the questions that we had. Yes, because of the way it went today, we would definitely do it again. We are going to tweak a couple things. You know, one person remarked on like how tidy, like, because like I said, we're taking this stuff from various projects, having the guys put it into storage units. So they're guys. So they don't really, they're guys, like, you know, details, organization, whatever. We're not trying to be overly organized at all. We are not trying to spend hours cleaning things, because if we did that, then we would have to charge a lot more for these items. We are not trying to be a shop working out of storage units. That makes no conceivable sense. Like, we're not trying to do that. When you see the clothing, for example, they will be in piles. We're not separating skirts from shirts, from jackets, from pants. Like, that's what you do. That's why you go to Goodwill and you pay more money and you have smaller margins, because that's what they do with the volunteers and staff that they barely pay minimum wage. We're not doing that. We're just saying, here's a bunch of stuff. We're going to make it as tidy as possible without going overboard or trying to make anything seem like a shop or a store, because it's not. Think of it as if you're going to an estate sale or a nicer tag sale. And I say nicer because the stuff won't be picked over, because we are only going to deal with a set number of people versus having it opened up to the entire world like a tag sale is. So, like I said, it went really well. We were very happy with the results, as well as incredibly happy because it took a lot less time than we anticipated. We thought that people, you know, would just want to just spend a really long time looking at everything. And although they did look at, I would say 85 to 90% of everything, it was pretty quick, and it was really like a great way to do business for them as well as for us, in and out. Like I said before, if you are interested in this and you are, in what I said before, a serious reseller, then what you can do is see my information in the description of this video, as well as in the video that will be posted up here. And you can also click on the About tab on our YouTube page or channel, and you can contact me via email or via Facebook Messenger. So if you don't have Facebook Messenger, then just send me an email and, let me know what you're looking for. If you are, one guy though, I can say, according to my husband, said that he did not sell on eBay. We found that not to be true. That was not true at all. So if we find that, we think that someone isn't kosher, telling us the truth, then we're not going to work with you. And you only have one chance, one possibility as far as working with us. So, we're simply trying to verify that people are legit, people are who they say they are, so that when we end that you're serious, like you really are a reseller, like, we're not trying to give I hate to say it, but opportunities to someone who's like, I want to collect picture frames. And, that's, it's a one-time deal. We're trying to create a relationship so that, when we do come into these opportunities, you also have a chance yourself to do well with a reselling. So we do need to verify somehow like who you are. So if you do resell on like Poshmark or even on Etsy, but you need to have an Etsy store. I'm sorry, not on Facebook, but on eBay, of course. That's an easy way for us to verify who you are. We also need your full name, and we also need a phone number, because we cannot call you and let you know that, we just, hit something that you might want if we have no way to call you back. Like, unfortunately, we're not telepathic. I wish we were. So thank you for checking this out and listening to me talk about the update and how it went today. Like I said, we're incredibly happy with what happened, and we hope to do this again. We're not doing it every week. We may not even do it every month. It's just to let you know, because that was one of the questions that we received, because we're so busy working on other things that we just can't do that. Also, as I stated, we're not trying to turn anything into a store or a shop or anything like that. This is just come, get the stuff, take it, you have it, it's yours. It's pretty much a done deal. So thank you so much for tuning in, and give us a thumbs up.